So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Danny's younger brother and only brother, the younger son, my favorite son. So, thank you for everyone for coming out. So, Danny and Tony's wedding, to the bride and groom, got a little speech for you guys. So, being given the task to write a paper or a speech for Danny and Tony's wedding, I did what I did, throughout college, throughout high school. I asked my mom. She didn't help me at all. So Tony, after 7 years, I want to welcome you into our family. It seems as though I've known you forever, and now that I think about it, it's, a good portion of my life, about a third of my lifetime. For Danny, where do I begin? Do you remember when we were young and you would use all those big words and I didn't know what was happening? And I would get really frustrated and I'd never come back. Mom would always say, or at least as she would tell it, I'm warning you, once he gets older and starts using his words, you're going to be sorry. And this is now my time to use my big words. What I mostly want to talk about today is the memories that Danny and I share throughout our lifetime. As brothers, the good and the bad, because we only wish Danny and Tony share beautiful memories as they grew older with each other. From day one, Danny and I didn't get off to a great start. As soon as I was born, my mom told this story to me before. Danny would ask my grandparents if they would take me home with them on day one. They lived in Pennsylvania. But after 22 years, you really get to know someone. So I've seen Danny grow from an annoying little kid to the slightly less annoying adult you guys see here today. I credit Danny with my fear of the dark. This is a good one. When we were about 8 and 10, Mom and Dad went out somewhere, I don't know where. And they left us with Grandma and Grandpa who lived with us at the time. And they figured we were fine because we were watching TV in one of the rooms. The rule was to stay with Danny. As the good child I am, I did. They just didn't know what Danny would do to me. So Danny put on Halloween. Which, at 8 years old, I knew I wasn't supposed to be watching because it was very scary. Still scary to me today. And I credit him for my fear of the dark, and I can't really sleep with my closet door open to this day. Another memory was when the family had gone to some science fair or science center for kids. We made like volcanoes and like the sticky glue that you guys, I'm sure you've been there, or to the same place. My favorite was this really gooey substance which we made there. And Danny tried to convince me to at least eat it or taste it and see what it was like. And when that wasn't good enough, we decided to go home and throw it on every wall possible. And I'm sure Mom didn't like that one. Danny and I worked together throughout our lives, multiple jobs. My dad owns his own business as a masonry business. Danny and I used to work there together and share some good memories. Danny soon moved on from that scene for other jobs and left it to the manly men of the household, my dad and I. Lifeguarding comes to mind. Danny and I lifeguarded for a couple of years together. I followed him to mostly all the places that he went to. I would go there after. And we didn't really nearly fight as much then. We were older, although he was a lot lazier than me when we worked. Something you may not know about us is that Danny and I know a lot of rock and roll, as you can see by the wedding, which they started on. I'll always remember the days that, we would go to school, Dad would drive us, and we'd name, it would take us like 10 tries, but we'd name the band that was singing at that time. So another memory we have together. But seriously tonight, as I was thinking of what to say, I mostly wanted to start with memories, and I started thinking about brothers, and what do you really say about brothers? Brothers understand each other, gained by years of fighting. We have inside jokes, secrets that we keep between us. I won't tell them that. And after years of this, brothers become friends. So Danny, as we are here tonight celebrating, as you move on to the next stage of your life with Tony, I want to let you know that I'm very proud of the guy you've become. Tony, I can't think of anyone better that I'd rather have join our family, and who would be a better wife to Danny than you. You guys are really made for each other. So, bear with me here. So I studied architecture for 4 years at University of Hartford. Tell people Hartford, it's the T and the V. It really gets everyone. And my reasoning behind saying this is because every time we designed a building or were in class to design something, we were asked, what's your reasoning behind that idea? Why did you design it? And we were always told to have an answer ready, to say to whoever the juror were in front of us. So I believe that Danny and Tony found their reason why, and that's with the love that they have shared together for the past 7 and more years. So to my brother, my friend, and his new wife, my sister, let's raise our glasses to love, life, laughter, and happily ever after as Mr. and Mrs. Danny Jacob.